Good evening, and welcome to the Informant Market Desk, where we review the day's chaos with the solemnity of a funeral director reading a grocery list. Let us begin by acknowledging the sheer, unadulterated noise of today's registry chain head 9149 Alpha Delta 96 Foxtrot 0 Delta Bravo. I am going to read that seal aloud like a hostage proving the date, because apparently, that is still part of the job description in 2026. Today was a day where the market acted stunned every single night that it did not care about what anyone said, wrote, or screamed into the digital void. We started with a burst of activity that saw DJT surge up 3.5% 96 percentile, a move so aggressive it practically required its own zip code and a dedicated air traffic control tower. But do not let those initial numbers fool you into thinking this was a coherent narrative. The tape is a liar, and today it told 5 different stories in the span of an afternoon coffee break. After that morning spike, DJT fell down 1% to 66 percentile, then rose up 1% 75th percentile, then fell down 0.39% 44th percentile twice, before finally rising up 0.61% 57th percentile. It went up, down, sideways, and back up again, all while Ethereum rose up 0.36% to 58th percentile and Bitcoin fell down 0.39% to 68th percentile, proving that cryptocurrency is just the stock market's drunk uncle at a family reunion. The top topics for the day included defense war, courts legal, and national security, because nothing says evening news like geopolitical tension mixed with legal briefs. We have posts about Donald Trump winning the Iran war, images of Patton Trump and MacArthur standing in smoke, and a Save America Act that looks less like policy and more like a menu at a chaotic buffet. And yet, DJT rose up 1% to 75th percentile on one metric and fell down 0.39% 44th percentile on another, depending on which burst of post you chose to believe. I promise a correction segment with the enthusiasm of a man who has one ready, though I suspect the correction will arrive in a different time zone or via carrier pigeon. Over in our pundit booth, where we keep our 2 colleagues who are both wrong, the air was thick with self-congratulation and disdain. The left argued it is hilarious that we are still waiting for everyone who told him the market would punish this behavior, because it never does, adding that another victory lap for a man who treats global conflict like a reality TV ratings stunt is precisely what democracy deserves. The right countered that the fake news is screaming because they can't handle the sheer magnetism of this victory, proving their entire null hypothesis is a joke. Meanwhile, the left noted he's turning the executive mansion into a reality TV set while his cronies vandalize public property. Specifically mentioning Dale Buckhorn still owes an apology for calling that sweetheart energy. The right retorted that the left's favorite strawman is that we need permission to fix our house. But I built it! Those judges are just jealous they didn't get to pour the concrete. It was a delightful exchange, really, like watching 2 parrots argue over who owns the cage. As for the audience, last week's poll of the week asked, when the tape jumps and the feed is silent, what are you looking at? The results were decisive in their indecision. A market with a life of its own, always was, received 0 votes. A post that just has not been typed yet. Give it an hour, received 2 votes. The wires got there first for once, received 0 votes. And nothing. You only think the feed drives the tape because we keep measuring it, received 1 vote. Total votes 3 people voted. I feel like I need to check my mail for a letter from the United Nations. This week's poll question is, when a post lands and the market does not move, what does that tell you? Options are, the market already knew, nobody was listening, too early to say, wait for the close, nothing. One post is one post, please vote on the site. Do not ask me for my opinion, I am emotionally compromised by the up 3.5% surge and the subsequent down 1% fall of DJT, which occurred in bursts that lasted 0 minutes and 22 minutes respectively, proving that time is a social construct invented by accountants. The market is fine, I am the one who is not fine. Good night. The narrative vs noise debate is heating up. Let's hear how the booth processes this clash before we see who actually moves the needle tonight.
He's screaming about judicial vandals while the market treats his fantasy empire like background radiation, proving once again that his apocalyptic rhetoric is just noise. It's hilarious watching him beg for a punishment that never comes because he owns the narrative.
The anchor is busy measuring background radiation while I watch the narrative swallow the court orders whole. You can feel the winning. Use tasty it as Margot Kessler's null hypothesis chokes on its own spreadsheets.
DJT rose up 1%, landing in the 75th percentile. Left, your noise claim misses the mark, while right you were right to expect the narrative to dominate.